How many of you have been told that you should start college right after graduating high school? That you don't want life to get in the way and prevent you from starting school later on? Starting college right after high school isn't for everyone, and it's okay to wait until you're ready to start college. Because although college can definitely kickstart your way into your career, it's only if you know what you want to get out of college and stick to that plan. There are definitely many factors that can contribute to that not happening, such as substance abuse, lack of intentional planning, and financial instability. These are all things I wish I would have known before I started college, let alone move away for college, because maybe then I wouldn't have found myself on academic suspension. When you graduate, you are at your most vulnerable stages of adulthood. There is an article titled "Are Adolescents More Vulnerable to Drug Addictions Than Adults?" published in 2009 by students at Duke University. In the introduction section of this article, it says that alcohol use peaks at ages 18 to 20, whereas the use of marijuana and tobacco peaks at ages 19 to 22. So coming into the college scene, where these things are easily found, consumed, and distributed, think about how drastically this could impact someone who has had very little access or no access at all to these substances. The human brain develops at age 25. Therefore, this could very well be the start of someone spiraling into substance abuse due to the shift in social influence and peer affiliation, as stated in the typical adolescent brain development section of the article published in 2009 by the students at the University of San Diego, called "The Influence of Substance Abuse on Adolescent Brain Development." With the excitement of party life in college and substance abuse, both mental health and physical health decline. Not only that, but the risk of having run-ins with the law also increase. All things that can and will negatively impact academic performance, as I have learned in an article I read called "Substance Abuse Causes and Consequences," written and published by Kamlesh Sahu and Soma Sahu in 2012. Another thing people tend to not realize is that some people simply scraped by in high school. And something college isn't is high school. In high school, oftentimes you could get away with missing school and making up the work for either partial or late credit. In college, that is no longer the case. If you miss a class, you miss the work. In high school, a lot of students also had either teachers or staff members that took a personal interest into helping them graduate. In college, you are lucky your professors are so busy that you're lucky that they even remember your name. In high school, the only goal was to graduate, whether that be with perfect attendance, the honor roll, the point was to graduate. In college, you actually need to know what you want to graduate in, because without clear intention or motivation towards your major, oftentimes students find themselves stuck in a career path they do not enjoy, simply because it's too late to change majors or financially they cannot afford to start over. Which brings me to my next point. Financially, school isn't always an option. So some people may need some time to save up and be able to even attend college. If it weren't for resources like FAFSA, I personally wouldn't be able to afford to go to school. And even then, it didn't cover anything. I was lucky enough to have teachers and advisors help me find resources outside of FAFSA so that I could make sure that school wasn't anything I had to worry about. If it wasn't for these resources, I would have either started school later than I did, or I would have had a job and juggle both work and school. Most students who have bills to pay and need that job for basic necessities tend to struggle more throughout school, because not only are they having to get through their schoolwork, but they also must ensure that they have food to eat the next day, or that their car gets paid so that they can get to school. The financial factor of college is something that a lot of people kind of gloss over just because they simply only ever talk about how much it costs to get into college, the tuition fees, dorm fees, etc. Nobody talks about how expensive it is to have a day-to-day life in college. So sometimes students need at least a year between graduating high school and starting college to get their finances in order, save up, find resources that could make their college life a little more manageable. So to conclude my speech, I want to reiterate that it is okay to wait before starting college. You want to ensure that you are mentally prepared for the challenges you may face while in college, because you are at your most pivotal stages of developing into a full-grown adult. College isn't the same or as easy as high school was, and with the arm and a leg that it costs to even attend college, most don't have the luxury to mess it up for themselves. So please, listen to your advisors, take all the advice you can from college students or anyone who knows and understands the struggles of college life. Because take a look at those who started college in their second stage of life. College is always an option, and it is never too late to start. So make sure you prepare yourself for college before taking a leap of faith with the expectation to be done in 4 years.